I want all of you to sit up straight and close your eyes. Who thinks here we can change the world? Okay, this one person thinks we can change the world. Let's change the world, shall we? So I want you to sit up straight and close your eyes. When I ask you to sit up straight, your backbone is the center of your universe. When you sit up straight, you produce positive hormones and neurotransmitters from your spinal cord. Can you change your wife, your husband? Can you change your children? Can you change your partner? Can you change your friends? Can you change your boss? Can you change your employees? Can you change your students? Can you change your teacher? Can you change your dogs or cat? We cannot change anything around us. But I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give you tools that will change your world. The only person you can change is yourself. Every time you go through stress, I want you to follow this very powerful tool. It's called water breathing. Just following it along with me. When you do this, it immediately stops the stress cascade and immediately stops the production of adrenaline and cortisol from your body. When you do this, whether it can be you got a bill or your friend is at your neck or neighbors coming to shoot you or you had a car accident or anything, or you're running late for your appointment. Running late for your appointment is a big thing that I cover all the time. It is really detrimental, not for our health, but for our entire experiences. So now, we're going through the stress, we can feel it in our body. So I want you to take the deep breath with me, hold it for 4 seconds, and we're going to release it completely. And as you breathe out, tuck your tummy in. But when you breathe in, we're going to do abdominal breathing. We need to open up our diaphragm so that our lung expands. Okay, so ready? 1, 2, 3. In through your nose, hold it for 4 seconds, out through your mouth. 1, 2, 3, 4. So make sure your abdomen is filling up. So when you're doing that, and where you breathe it through your nose and holding it 4 seconds. The holding it 4 seconds is very powerful. This is Tony Robbins coaches this. All the top self-development people preaches about this. The science proves that the holding time, you spread this oxygen to your brain and to your heart and your entire body. Stop the stress immediately. Let's try one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now we're releasing all your stress hormone. Make sure your tummy is tucked in as you breathe out. Let's do one more time. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now that we cannot change anybody, but you have the power within to change your own emotion and your own energy. Once your emotions, even if it's not up and down, happy and jovial, As long as you bring it to a peaceful state or a harmonious state, or we call it equilibrium or a homeostatic state, you start to attract good things into your life. At least the bad things that's meant to happen will stop immediately if you can bring your emotions to a neutral state, because this is neuroscience. You can find any way you want. You can pray, you can sing, you can dance, you can go fishing, you can take a walk, you can play with your child, you can do this breathing. I sometimes, when I'm really stressed at work, I go to the toilet. I go out to the toilet most of the time because this is what I do. I just do this breathing, my mind is one, and then I walk upright. So when you have your shoulders back and sit up like this, you're telling your body that you're not facing a tiger. You do not have. Sometimes, even if I'm so fearful inside, you can just change your posture. Just like they change the posture, you are producing positive hormones in your body. You're tricking our mind, telling that there is no tiger. So you produce endorphin, oxytocin, serotonin and dopamine, reward hormones, and that heals your body. Healing is one thing, but then experientially good things start to happen. Now your client will pay your bill, because this is what is called universal law. Universe brings experiences that matches our emotions. That's why I tell again and again, don't watch the news, because when we are watching the news, we're going into the stress mode and we're going hopeless. There's fear. When we are fearful, they're fighting somewhere else, but we're also going to have negative events happening in our own life simply because our emotions are negative just by watching this news. We are attracting negative things into our life. Maybe a car will break down, maybe we're running late for a thing, or a child will act up, or utensils or equipment breakdown. These are all happens because our negative emotions. This is a universal law. You cannot control it. But one way you can control is control your emotions, change your emotions. Now, in Eastern culture, they say there are many lives. But I don't believe in any of that. But because I had held a lot of my patients at the hospital during their death, the greatest fear is the fear of death. But I see the people who had belief or faith in their religion exit their body with ease. I mean, not very much ease, because nobody likes to die. But at least they were in a better position than people who did not believe in the religion or didn't have any kind of faith. They were suffering towards the death. So I contemplated, how can I find a tool for my clients to solve this greatest problem, because I myself one day will have to face this. Fortunately, I come from my Eastern culture. We talk about this reincarnation, whatever. I don't believe, because I don't know. But why not see some aspect of this and intertwine what that suits us, as long as it helps us do something. So in our culture, death is not dying. It's not the aim. It's exiting our body. The soul is exiting our body. And say, for instance, if somebody, say for my father was an alcoholic, and towards his death, he had the deepest desire that he wanted to be a loving father, and he died with that desire. So his soul exited his body, was restless. It goes into the cosmic energy and it's restless, it cannot settle, it's not peaceful, it's floating there. and it needs to reincarnate and come into this world to fulfill its desire, which was to be a loving, caring father. So now his soul will enter into a mother's womb during the conception, into the embryo, and that it will create a life. And that embryo will grow into a baby and born into the world as a human being. And that soul, that person will grow, and that life, wherever he was born, his parents, his experiences, his DNA structure will mold him and develop him into bringing the person of his soul's desire to be a loving and caring father in that lifetime. So now that soul becoming a very caring father, a family man, and then towards the end of his life, he has this deepest desire that he wanted to be a multi-millionaire because he struggled with some financial problem. And then he didn't fulfill that desire in this lifetime, and then he's about to die in his 80s or 90s or 100 years. And then he had this desire that he's still not peaceful. And then he's going to die, he's going to exit his body, and his soul is restless. Now soul goes, it cannot settle. It's still restless because there was an unfulfilled desire to be rich and have plenty of money and to help other people. So that soul now again floating in the cosmic space and is waiting for a right womb. And then this soul enters somebody else's womb and become a child. So maybe the experience can be very negative. Say for instance for Oprah Winfrey, and because there was a soul desire, it has to make her and bring her and mold her into who she is now. She has made billions of dollars because that was a soul's desire. It doesn't matter about the experience. The souls will bring her there, make her into Oprah Winfrey, but in turn she was helping billions of people too. But that was her desire. Now say for instance, for a person like that, or somebody can born into somebody else and become Mark Zuckerberg, or Elon Musk, or Donald Trump, right? And one of those souls desire now, about to die, they think, okay, I have my money and everything, but I really don't like any of this. I just want to be detached from these carnal desires. I wanted to be free. My soul needed to be free. I wanted to be, I don't know what it is, maybe enlightenment they're talking about. I wanted to be like free of these carnal desires so that I won't have negative emotions. And the soul is restless during the death, and that exits the body and it's still floating in the cosmic space. And then the soul is still not settled, it's still restless, it has to come into the world. It come into the world and born into somebody, say for instance, that baby will give experiences, make this person and mold this person and make into an enlightened being that could be a Dalai Lama. Now, if that person is enlightened in this lifetime, the soul exits the body peacefully. It does not need to come into this life again, which is suffering. So now, can I compare myself with my peer? No way I'm going to compare my peer. They got $1 million, they got a car, they got a thing. No way. Because we are various in not lifetime of variations. I don't know. I may be in my 7th lifetime, you may be in your 10th lifetime, or I may be in my 10th lifetime, you may be in your 2nd lifetime. I cannot compare. This is a problem in the world. People are comparing in the Facebook and social media for likes and this competition. Why the problem? Comparing. But if I tell this story, then not only they can exit the body peacefully, but nobody's going to compare. Comparison